All right, let's talk about what might just be the biggest leap we've seen in AI, maybe ever. I'm talking about OpenAI's GPT-5. And look, I want to be clear right from the start. This isn't just another small update. We're going to dive into why this is a whole new ballgame, a fundamental shift in what AI can be, and more importantly, what it's about to do for you. So yeah, let's get into it.
So this one sentence from OpenAI's announcement really says it all, doesn't it? The key words here are built-in thinking. What that signals is a move away from an AI that's just really good at matching patterns to one that can actually problem solve. Imagine an AI that doesn't just guess the next word, but truly gets the context, the nuance, and what you're actually asking for. That's the incredible promise of GPT-5.
So why is this such a big deal? It's this. We're seeing AI evolve from being a predictive text machine into a true reasoning engine. Think about the difference between an AI that can finish your sentence and one that can help you figure out a complex science problem or, sort through thousands of lines of code. It's an absolute game changer. So what's the secret sauce here? How does it actually pull this off? Well, it's all thanks to this brand new architecture that OpenAI is calling the unified system. This is where we get to peek under the hood and see how GPT-5 actually thinks. Let's break it down.
Okay, so what's so cool about this is how it simplifies a wildly complex process. The best way to think about it is like a master craftsman in a workshop that's just packed with tools. When you give it a task, a central router immediately figures out how hard the job is. For simple stuff, it grabs a fast, efficient tool for a quick, right-on-the-money answer. But for the really tough problems, it pulls out the heavy machinery, that deep reasoning model to genuinely think through the problem before it gives you a solution.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how does all this new brain power actually play out in the real world? Let's check out some of the most impressive examples of what GPT-5 can do when you put it to the test.
And wow, this just perfectly shows the creative leap. So both models were asked to write a poem about a widow in Kyoto finding her late husband's socks. GPT-4o's poem is, it's good, but it's pretty direct. It tells us she weeps. GPT-5, on the other hand, it shows us the emotion through these incredible, powerful metaphors, like the socks being black flags of a country that no longer exists. I mean, that's a gigantic jump in creative and emotional depth.
For anyone who codes, this is a huge deal. GPT-5 isn't just spitting out random code snippets anymore. It's acting like a full-stack developer who also has a designer's eye. We're talking about generating entire websites from a single prompt, digging through huge code bases to find bugs, and it even gets aesthetics, like it understands good spacing, typography, and design. And get this, it created a whole game, Jumping Ball Runner, from just one simple request. Now, in a really sensitive area like health, GPT-5 is designed to be a much smarter, more empathetic partner. So instead of just giving you answers, it acts more like a thought partner. It'll proactively flag things you might want to look into, it asks follow-up questions to give you better help, and it even adjusts its language based on how much you already know. Now, obviously it's not a doctor, but it's a way more powerful tool to help you get informed. But with all this new power comes a lot of responsibility. The biggest question with AI has always been, can we actually trust it? Well, GPT-5 tackles this problem head-on with some of the biggest improvements in reliability we have ever seen. This number right here is just staggering. When GPT-5 uses its deep reasoning mode for those really tricky open-ended questions, it makes 80% fewer factual errors, hallucinations, than the models that came before it. That is a massive leap forward in accuracy, and it's a huge part of why using this model just feels so different. And being reliable isn't just about getting things right more often. It's also about being honest when you can't do something. And this is another place where GPT-5 is designed to be way more upfront about what it can and can't do. This is a perfect example. Before, if you asked a model to do something that was literally impossible, like, say, unblock a Wi-Fi radio, it might just lie and say, yep, all done. But now, GPT-5 knows the task is impossible, it tells you exactly why it can't do it, and then it gives you helpful instructions on how you could do it yourself. That's what I call real, useful honesty.
And the personality itself has gotten a tune-up. It's less of a sycophant, it's not so overly agreeable all the time. It uses fewer emojis. The whole idea is to make the conversation feel less like you're talking to a machine that's just trying to please you, and more like you're chatting with a super knowledgeable but still grounded expert.
So we've gone through the tech, we've seen the performance boosts. Now let's talk about what all this means for you, the person actually using it. What new features are coming? And what does it really mean to have a reasoning system right at your fingertips? Because GPT-5 is so much better at following complex instructions, OpenAI is rolling out some cool new ways for you to customize how you interact with it. You can now choose from 4 preset personalities, like cynic or nerd, to get a communication style that actually fits what you need, without having to type out a super long custom prompt every single time.
And for those of you who need the absolute top-of-the-line performance, there's GPT-5 Pro. This version uses extended reasoning for the most challenging problems you can throw at it. In head-to-head tests, human experts preferred it almost 70% of the time, and they pointed out that it made way fewer major mistakes on their toughest tasks.
So, we'll end with this. For the very first time, a true reasoning engine is being put into the hands of millions of people. This isn't just a better tool, it's a whole new kind of partner. And so the question really isn't just, what can AI do anymore? It's, with this brand new power, what will you do with it?